South Carolina. The Old Friends Group is an open group, and we welcome those listening to participate. If anybody has an item for sale or trade or just wish to talk about it, feel free to do so. This group is on twice a week. This time on Sunday, 1600, on this frequency, and on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. With Charlie, W4MEC, and the guys at that time. Same frequency, different time, 9 a.m. I guess that's it. Anyway, we'll give everybody an opportunity to pick up their transmitters here. I think I have to adjust a couple of mils on my plate, but other than that, stations wishing to check their stations, come now, please.
I think Harold's still alive. I've seen that boat. I've been up on Harold's Tower, and yeah. I'm sorry to hear.
We're cooking, so sound, everything looks good here, and stations wishing to check into the Old Friends Group. Let me adjust my little thing above here, so I can write things down. Come now, please.
N4LQ.
W4J.
W4 Charlie Tango.
W2CQH.
K1VVC.
November 4 Alpha Kilo and 4 AK.
K4VWD.
K4GDN, and there's a lot of sideband still on here, Jim.
W4M Easley.
W4VRO.
I'll give you a rundown what I have. I'm sort of a little spacey here, guys. Little word. W4 LQ, Steve, and then I have W4 JKR, W4 CT, W2 CQH, K1 VVC, N4 AK, and VWD, K4 VWD, and GDN, George, and Charlie, W4MEC, and VRO, Ray. I think a couple I missed was early on, so might need a redo on those stations here. Any additional stations, come now, please.
WA4LLR.
KN4R. W4 Whiskey Zulu.
K4NNP.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, the VRO, we got 2U here, and then oh gosh, my Sharpie's not working out. LLR, there you go, and before Romeo, and W4 WZ. I'm going to put you, you're the chairman of the board. BORED, I think it is. And I'm going to put Joe up there at the top. I'm glad you got up early here, Joe, to make the group here. And NNP. That's my friend down there in Anderson. So, let's see. I think I got a roll. Any additional stations? Come now, please.
You missed KN4R, I believe.
What's that, John?
Brian, KN4R.
Was that Brian? KN4R. I thought I had him in there.
And after Dave.
Roger that. Okay. We'll go down the line here and see what we can do. Over to you, Joe, to take it and pass it on, if you would, please, to LQ, I believe it is. Over.
Give us the sequence, Jim.
What's that, Lee? Lee, say again, please.
Give us the sequence.
Oh, okay. If I can read it here. Before LQ, I have WZ, JKR, CT, CQH, VVC, AK, VWD, GDN, MEC, VRO, 2U, VRO, I'm not sure. And then 4 Romeo. And then I put Joe, that came in there, I put Joe at the top, but then NNP was the last one. Over.
Jim, you missed Charlie, and he's the one that comes in right after GDN.
Who was that, Stan, right after GDN? I thought Charlie I had there, I thought.
Yeah, Charlie, W4MEC, you didn't mention him the last time.
Okay. I was probably struggling with it. I think we have enough to go by here. I'm not sure about the first station there. My scribbling is scribbles. The first one I had before Joe. Yeah, go ahead there, Steve. This is K4DW.
This is Whiskey Zulu, W4 Whiskey Zulu, and I called in early on, but I think it's about 2 or 3 hours on top. So, right now, I got this, and I believe I turned it over to Dave, W4LLR. So, you correct me. Go ahead, Dave, W4LLR, W4WZ.
I believe it goes to JKR or something.
No, Dave, go ahead and take it. This is W4KR. I misspoke when I called in. I said I stuck a J in front of my call, and I don't know why. I guess I'm unconscious this afternoon. Anyway, go ahead, pick it up, Dave, and then give it back to me. WA4LLR, W4KR.
Okay, you had me after mirror, but all right, I will. W4WZ and the group WA4LLR, good afternoon to everybody. Pretty good signals up this way. QRM's not very bad. We've got about 55 degrees, sunny, and surely a nice change from the last couple of days. So, W4KR and the group WA4LLR.
Okay, Dave, we'll get it. We'll get it eventually here. WA4LLR, the old friends group, W4KR. I don't know. I said W4, and then I said a J, and I don't know why, and then I hesitated and said KR, so I'm not surprised that Jim got confused, because the guy at this end of this microphone was confused, seems to be confused as well. A bit of an announcement, if I may. I placed a want to buy item on QTH.com, and it was I got a response. It just didn't look quite right. The person that supposedly was answering me was VA3AUX, who lives up north of Toronto. Turned out it was a bogus. It was some dude in Nigeria that was trying to pull a scam. So if you see ads. If you get responses to ads from VA3AUX, give me a call, give me a phone call, and I can give you AUX's number, or we can validate those things. Anyway, that's about the major maladjustment from all of this afternoon. Steve, the rig sounds good. The audio on the Viking 2 sounds good. Ben, over to you. W4CT and the old friends group, W4KR.
Okay, well, for a change, I'm not a regular check-in. I guess I'm semi-regular. But copying some stations better than I have. Jim, I still have trouble with your audio level. I think is too low. But that's just maybe a personal bias or prejudice, or I don't know what it is. But your carrier strength is quite strong, but not real strong, but strong enough. But Stan, you were quite strong, and Reed, you were doing well. So here it comes to you, Reed. W2CQH, W4CT.
W4CT, W2CQH. Good signal pattern near Atlanta. And LQ's audio sounds good. A little bit more of it would be helpful according to my envelope monitor. So I heard Mir before John, but I'll follow the official sequence. K1VVC, W2CQH.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Reed. W2CQH and the group K1VVC. Good copy on everybody today, very low noise level, and signals are all coming through really well. Steve, a comment on the V2. The audio sounded really good. Last week when you were on with the LMAC, the audio sounded really, really good. No complaints on the V2, sounds fine, but that LMAC was something else. Other than that, had a nice week. Had Ray Vieiro stop by for a nice visit, had a good time, and that's about all. Over to you, Glenn, N4AK. K1VVC.
K1VVC and the Old Friends Group. This is November 4 Alpha Kilo. Boy, we have a super group calling in here today. And Steve, the audio on the Viking 2 is very good. And Stan, I just realized that I hadn't returned your call. Perhaps it was about what you mentioned here on the net. I was on the way back to Sunset, and as we were talking, I was hitting some dead zones. So anyway, I apologize. So signal's all good. Copying everybody this afternoon. I'm on the Johnson 500. So K4VWD, N4AK.
Yeah, okay, Glenn, very good. This is K4VWD. Well, I am copying everybody okay. Not anything special, but Steve, your audio sounds fine here in Greenville. And I hope my 40 watts output is getting out okay. It's actually a little less than 40. But, and I don't know why. But we got just a very slight breeze here, so I see the feed line moving around a little bit. But everything's fine. So, George, I hope you're copying. K4GDN and the group, K4VWD.
Okay, K4VWD and the group, this is K4GDN, and I'm copying everybody fine. We're on the Valiant again today. Let me do some checking here. Putting out, I guess, about 90 watts. I'm actually loaded a little bit heavier than I would like to be, and I got it loaded as light as I can get it, and I got about 370 mils of plate current. Let me see if I can get a little less than that. Nope, that's about where it's staying. I've got no reflected power and about 90 watts forward. Copying everybody good here, no problems at all. So Charlie, coming to you. W4MEC in the group, K4GDN.
Hey, George, K4GDN. The old friend,
W4MEC. Alright, good afternoon, everybody. Everybody's got a good signal. Jim started out with some serious QSB. Over to S5, so maybe he was on the wrong antenna. Next week we have our time change, so that'll be interesting. Daylight saving time kicks in this time next week, or next time, well, it is in the middle of the night next week, so this will be 4 o'clock, right? Yeah. No, this is the radio time will be 4 o'clock, so different conditions. Steve, the rig sounds very good. And I'll second John's comment that the LMAC sounded very, very good. so you have good, very good, and you got very, very good, but they do sound good. Sitting here, the comment about the fellow from Nigeria answering the email. I haven't had that, but I have had people selling stuff say they want it and never hear again, and I guess they're just being funny, but a lot of times I notice on QTH, if I reply to an email inquiry or whatever, it doesn't go back directly. It ends up in their spam folder, and I actually put in my ad, please check your spam folder for replies, because people I don't know what the deal is about QTH, but my experience has been replying or whatever is lost in the ether, the internet ether. So, okay, I'll pass it on here. Just to double check here, I know Dave got moved up to the top of the list with Joe, but I think it goes VRO, F2U, 4R, and NNP since the other since Dave and Joe have been relocated. So. We'll see how it works out here. W4VRO and the group W4MEC.
W4MEC. Coming out, W4MEC.
Thank you, Charlie. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. Check again to the net. Beautiful day here. Started out at 29 degrees, but it's about 63 now. So, good signals all around. Noise is very, very low and copying everyone very well. Steve, the audio on the Viking 2 sounds very good. I won't say very, very good. That's a description reserved for your other rig. But it's very good. And let's see, John, really enjoyed stopping by your place last week. I had numerous stops to make, but it worked out good. I got to meet your dogs. John has 2 dogs, wonderful dogs. John, their hearts are right. Most dogs like me, and I like most dogs. I have trouble with attack dogs and some lap dogs. But John has 2 dogs that are just really interesting and delightful. And I was treated to the largest collection. I got to look at the largest collection in the world of keys and paddles and so forth. That was quite a treat, John. Thank you. I enjoyed it. I wish I hadn't been in such a rush that day, but I did get back to Anderson about 6 o'clock, spent the night with my son, and then rushed back home Friday morning. Amir, I have you on the list twice, after CQH and after me. So next time around, you get to take 2 turns, I think. So down to you. F2U in the group, W4VRO.
Knock your audio gain down just 1 notch. You got feedback, not feedback, squeal.
Yeah, I got that from my hearing aid. I had I turned my head a little bit. The microphone, which probably threw out a little bit of the lens. I have a copy of the thing you said, man.
Yeah, knock it down some more. You've got squeal. Look at your cathode current on your modulators there. Over. Are you back? I guess we'll get back to here in a minute or 2. LLR. I believe you're next. Dave, over.
Well, I've already been once. Since I got promoted over up to the front of about 3rd in line. So, Stan, go ahead. KN4R in the group, WA4LR.
Okay, Dave. WA4LLR and the old friends. This is Brian, KN4R. Sherrills Ford, North Carolina, where it's sunny and breezy. And started off really cold, but it's pretty nice out there now. I've been down in Radio 2 in the garage cleaning up and working on a ART-13 project, and I sent a few of you an email, and I appreciate the responses so far. I'm using a boat anchor rig here today, a Globe Champ 350, which I've had for some time, but I stopped using it a while back because I think it was just operator error, and I just turned up the audio gain just a little bit. So I'd appreciate any comments. I've got it paired with a Navy HRO in Iraq, which is circa 1941, and boy, it does sound good. And it's amazing how quiet the HROs are when there's no signal coming in. So I'm sitting back enjoying everybody. So over to you, Bill. K4NNP in the group, KN4R.
Anyway, running the Hicom 718, I don't know, I guess it puts out about 20 to 30 watts somewhere on there on the nice hearing everybody. Everybody sounds real good coming in here. So, what do you, Jim? K4 Delta Echo Echo, K4NNP, 730. Very fine. Glad to hear you in there. Haven't heard you in a long time. And you're sounding good. You got a little bit of a distortion factor there, but probably just needs to be worked out. Anyway, Mira, are you still there? WF2U. And you located did you locate the problem? Over. No, I got a not. Any additional check-ins or comments at this time? Come now, please.
I'm still here, Jim.
There was a double there. Just one station, please.
Jim, I said I'm still here.
Okay, very good. You're sounding good now. And as Charlie mentioned, next week there'll be a time change, and hope everybody recognizes that. There's a luncheon coming up. I guess it's this Thursday. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be attending, guys. I'm still not right from this junk I inherited a few weeks back, and I want to go and get an X-ray this week and have them check my lungs again as they requested a week or two after it's over. So things are feeling a lot better, but not 100%. And I don't want to transfer it to anybody else. So I think we're just going to lay low for this month as far as the luncheon. And keep my dreams to myself. So, as they say. But thank goodness RF doesn't transmit germs that we know it yet. Not at least at this magnitude. I had the audio gain control down a little bit. I think that was it, Ben. The audio gain control on the Johnson 500 is in the lower left-hand corner, and that is right on the edge of a shelf. And my cat likes to go by there, and there's a window on the other side of that shelf that he likes to look out. And this has happened several times that he'd brush by there with his buddy and knock the audio down a little bit. So I'm not going to change any habits around here, but that's one of the things I've recognized has happened there. So it might have been an accidental lowering of the modulation gain. So what else here? Hoping for a little bit more warmer weather, but I think I'm going to have to wait another a week or two for that. I think this year we've been exceptional as far as the amount of rain and cold weather we had, and we had pretty much our share, more than our share. My daughter was up here this past week from Lake Mary, Florida, and she and my wife had a good time, taking care of me, and also going out and having lunch together and enjoying their company. So we enjoyed having her here tremendously. She was here last August and came again this past week, and wanted to see if I was mending okay. So, and I've got a bit of noise here, guys, and I think that was one of my problems initially, was that I've got the noise limiter on the 75A4 on, and it clips the audio a little bit on some stations, so I was having a partial problem there. And with that, I'll get it back up to you there, Steve. And the rig does sound good, the Viking 2, which I've got a Viking 1 and a Viking 2, and I seldom use the Viking 1, but they're in great shape. And with that, back to Steve. Incidentally, his presentation on the multi-Almac was quite enjoyed by myself and my wife here. We watched it the other day, and it was the equipment looks great, and evidently it performs equally as well. I'll go to Joe, and then Joe, turn it over to Steve, if you would, please. W4WZ, this is K4DEE, and the old French group standing by.
Yeah, okay, Jim. Well, I'm sorry for the mix-up there. I had visitors, 2 sets of visitors coming to the shack, so they got a little off key there. They got out of the line, but I'll get off here and let's see. I think Dave is gone, and I believe you told me to give it to Steve. Anyway, guys, I have some visitors, and I think I better make my 73 around. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, and then the luncheon is this Thursday. So straighten me out then, Jim, if I'm wrong on this thing. So W4 Whiskey Zulu, and you fellas carry on. Let me take care of my visitors.
Yeah, go ahead there, Steve.
Okay, Steve. breaker will net control will pick you up at the end of the rotation here. N4LQ W4KR. Steve, sorry to spoil your expectations. A signal from Florida. Wow, how about that? That'd be that indeed would be pretty decent. Not to be this time of day this year. Anyway, yeah, it's been Jim. It's been a crazy afternoon. Things going in a whole bunch of different directions. I'd forgotten about daylight saving time, but thank you, Charlie. And why do we need daylight saving time out here in this part of the country anyway? Anyway, 7-3s, everybody. And we'll try and catch you Tuesday morning. If not, see you later in the week. So, Ben, it's coming back. One thing before I do that. Glenn, okay, don't... I was calling to ask a question and found the answer that I was after. Anyway, Glenn, so you don't have to return the call. Ben, W4CT in the group, W4KR. Go ahead, Ben.
W4KR. I think, yeah, Stan. My audio, Stan is. I couldn't hear what. I couldn't. Two things I need cleared up, and your audio and your signal strength is so different. You sound like a broadcast station here. I can hear you, and with my old ears, hearing is getting to be a problem. So any comments I make about someone else's audio is probably a comment on my hearing. So Stan, I have two questions. Did Jim turn his audio up or down? I couldn't remember. I thought it needed to go up, but it seemed to be okay this time. And then what did Reed say about my audio, or what do you say about it? Is it strong enough, or is it okay? Over.
First of all, I don't recall what Reed said. Reed did make a comment, and I don't recall what it was because I was behind the desk at that moment. I'm looking at you on the pan adapter, Ben. The audio is about 6 kcs wide, which is just about perfect, just about what you want. The audio is spread pretty evenly across that spectrum, and your modulation percentage is about 80-85%, somewhere in there. Ben, go ahead.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, this is a DX60. That's probably about the best you can expect out of it. It's screen modulation. So I'm doing the best I can. I'm pedaling uphill, but that's the way it is. And but thank you so much. And your audio is magnificent. And there aren't enough accolades to tell you how good it sounds here. I don't have anything else. I've got a phone call I need to answer, so I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to sign with everybody, and Jim and all, et al. Have a great week, and maybe I'll catch you on daylight saving time. And I agree, Stan, wholeheartedly. W2CQH, W4CT, 73.
Reed, can I make one final comment, Ben?
Make one final comment.
Okay. The one thing I forgot to mention, it sounds like you have an amplifier fan running in the background. We can hear that a little bit, Ben, but it's not objectionable.
Well, you're absolutely right. I've got about 4 up, and I can hear it too. So, in fact, you probably heard it louder even there. Go ahead, Reed.
Okay, W4CT. W2CQH, yeah, I can hear the fan, but way down. And I guess I commented on N4LQ's audio, which sounds good. So on to
On to John, K1VVC, W2CQH.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Reed. W2CQH, K1VVC. Good conditions today. Everybody's coming through really well. Really, no comments. Stan, if you're still listening, I sent you an email that I found 2 of the 5 crystals you're looking for, and I'll try and hunt up the other one. And looking forward to seeing everybody on Thursday. And one quick message for you, Lee. I'll be by usual time to pick you up. All things. We'll try to avoid any tornadoes on the way to the luncheon this month. Over to you, Glenn. N4AK, K1VVC.
Okay, K1VVC in the Old Friends Group. This is November 4 Alpha Kilo. Still copying everybody very well and listening to some great audio on these old boat anchors. Brian, the Globe Champ 350 audio is good and powerful. One of my mentors and a young man who was in high school with me, a K4 JJC, who we call Jumpin' Juicy Catfish. His daddy was a little bit better off than my daddy, so while I had a DX35, he had a Globe Champ rig. So I'm very familiar with it. I was a little bit jealous. Unfortunately, my friend was in an automobile wreck about a year out of high school. But anyway, that's where I'm familiar with the Globe Champ. And I did hear the announcement about lunch on Thursday. And my schedules have been kind of messed up lately. I was out of town for a couple of days. And trying to look on my calendar and see what's coming up for the week. So, also trying to get set up to take a rig down to the lake house in Gainesville to set up a system so when we're down there in the summertime we can call in. So I got a little 718. I think I will take it down there. I'll need to try it out here probably in a week or so on AM, see how it sounds. Anyway, good to hear Bill in here, K4NNP. Long time no hear, Bill. So glad you checked in with us today on your 718. So passing it on to you, Lee, K4VWD, N4AK.
Okay, Glenn, very good. This is K4VWD. And thank you, John. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. I've got one little thing to take to the meeting, but I'll probably leave it in the car and let them come out and look at it. They want to see what this S meter looks like that I got on the PMRA. And John, you may take a picture of it sitting here with the rigs. They may want to see that. But everything's fine here in eastern Greenville County. So I'm going to say 7-3, God bless. It's good to hear everybody. George, your signal's exceptional today. And it looks like to me that everybody's doing just fine. And I sure am glad to see it. So, Jim, I hope you feel better, and I'm sorry that you're not going to make the meeting. But I'm still praying for you, and I hope things continue to improve. So, 7-3, God bless everybody. K4GDN, K4VWD.
Had somebody break in there, Jim.
Yeah, the braking station. Go ahead.
W3BKR, Fred. Got the modulation cranked up just a little bit since last night. Did it help at all?
It sounds good to me. I'd like to maybe possibly get another station. John, can you VVC? Can you hear BKR?
Yeah, I can hear him. Signal's not very strong, but certainly the audio sounds okay to me.
Okay. Did you copy that there, Fred? Over.
might gain up a little bit till the AOC's up front. I don't get seats talking to me up there. W3VKR.
Yeah, okay. And Steve, you might comment on that. Over.
Comment on what? I don't copy him here.
Okay, you didn't copy AR, is that correct? Okay, so there you go, Fred. It's just a little bit more power probably would help, but a little bit more modulation would I think balance it out a bit. So proportional, it might be a little lacking to the power. So we'll carry on here, and I think I've lost my place. I think it was let's see, VRO. Let me get back up here a bit. Glenn, VWD, GDN, K4 GDN. Go ahead, George.
Okay, this is K4 GDN, and I couldn't copy that station for a while either. I could see the carrier on the scope and a little bit of modulation, but that's about it. And let me check something here. I don't know. For the life of me, I can't get my plate current down under about 360 mils on this Valiant, and I'd like to be around 330 if I could. And that's when I've got the reflective power down to nothing, using a small matchbox that's been modified with a capacitor in series with the input. Anyway, I don't think that's going to really hurt anything because I'm not going to keep it on all that long. But it is sitting right up there around 360. And I have got the loading, the auxiliary and the fine are at 0. So that's kind of curious. And it's about 70 degrees here in Myrtle Beach. It's sunny and the wind's calmed down. But it's supposed to start raining again tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday. Not very much else going on here. So I'm going to say 73 on this one, and I appreciate the signal reports from Charlie and from Lee. Glad the thing seems to be getting out. And let's see, it goes to Charlie, W4MEC in the group, K4GDN.
Stand by a minute, Charlie, if you would, please.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, George, I've got a couple of those Valiants here, but the loading capacitors, as you know, you should be able to take them out of the circuit there. You might have something on that coarse loading switch that might be lacking. I don't know if you have something to read the capacitance on them, but I know right around 300 mils is ideal. And it works out right around 125 watts. But it just might need a little attention, those lowering caps, or the switch position on the course tuning. So a copy, over.
Can I take it for a second, Jim?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Yeah. Another thing, George. Before getting too involved with the circuitry, sometimes the meter shunt resistors get out of whack on a lot of the Johnson equipment, and you might be tuned exactly at 300, and it may show 360. So, that would be the first thing I check.
That's a good point, John. That was one of the things that was emphasized years ago, and the meter shunts are questionable. And so between the meter shunts and the capacitors there, George, but it is, I like the Valiant very, very much. So K4GDN, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Now, I hadn't thought about the meter shunts, and I've got the auxiliary capacitor. It's on 0. Of course, that's maximum capacitance. And I've got the fine also on 0, and I believe that's maximum capacitance also. And if I I switch any of it out or going up from 0, I'm loading it even heavier, which I don't need to do. Anyway, I'll have to do some checking on that. It doesn't seem to be giving it any problems. It looks fine on the monitor, and it's doing about 90, 95 watts, something like that, according to my power meter. Anyhow, I'm going to say 73 on this one, but I'll probably listen to the end of this round. So Charlie, coming to you, W4MEC in the group, K4GDN.
Okay, George. K4GDN in the group, W4MEC. Well, that's what I was going to offer, was check the meter circuit first. There have been known to things change value one way or the other. I was looking at your signal, George, with on the HQ170A on your last transmission. You were 20 over. So good signal up this way. Hope it makes it as well next Sunday. The W3BKR station, Fred, I forgot his QTH. I did write down, name and all ID. I forgot where he was, but I think his modulation was pretty comparable to his signal strength. I had about a Q5 copy on him, and I could hear him, hear his modulation fine. So it was cutting through even at a low signal level. So anyway, I forgot the comment I was going to make from the previous comment, so I guess I'll think about it and maybe I'll think of it by next Tuesday. Oh, Mir, if you're listening, Mir, the email I sent you concerning your signal on the last check-in last Sunday or Tuesday or whenever it was, your rig is doing the same thing. You've got, when Jim was telling you to turn the modulation down, you had almost sound like a heterodyne on your signal. But when you turn the modulation down, I could barely copy on the last transmission. So something's going south in the DX100B. Let's see. Anyway, let me turn it over to, I'm not sure if Ray's here or not. I didn't strike through his name, but I'll turn it over to him, and if he's not there, if I could get to my page, after Ray was Mir, if he's still there. Anyway, W4VRO in the group, W4MEC.
W4MEC and the group, W4VRO. Okay, Charlie. Very good, and very good all around. A lot of good signals. Good conditions today. Jim, when you turned up your mic gain, you sound like you usually do. That was the problem. Real strong carrier, but not quite enough audio, and when you turned it up, you sound like you always do. So, glad Ben called that to your attention. That's been good. Enjoyed hearing all of you, and hope all of you have a good week. We'll look for you next time. WF2U and the group, W4VRO.
Roger, W4VRO and the group, WF2U. Let's see. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Hold on. This is WF2U. I hope it's better. It's all really because I just turned up the microphone gainer here, and the modulator current went up. So something is a little bit strange. I hope it's okay now. Jim, am I sounding okay?
Well, if you're including the heterodyne in there, yeah. But the heterodyne, I was thinking you might even open up that little door on the top there, stick your hand in, and wiggle that 12AX7 in the socket a little bit. The old radios get arthritis, they don't want to work exactly right. But the winding is still in there, Amir. Go ahead. Over.
Jim?
Yeah.
In either the first or second audio stage, the cathode capacitor is dried up. That's what's wrong.
Probably so.
I'll take care of that. Yeah, I see. Once in a while it's just floating up. Yeah, the current is creeping up, even when I'm not talking. Okay, yeah, I'll say 73. I'll look into it, and if not, I'll just put another transmitter here in the meantime until this is on the workbench. I have something else to use. So I'll keep it short now, and thanks, Charlie, for the audio recording. And I think Brian sent me something too. So 73 all, have a good afternoon. Looking forward to the luncheon. Let's see who he goes to. WA4LLR and the group WFTU 73 all, but I'm listening.
Okay, Mayor.
Okay, Mayor, very good. WFTU and the old military radio net. This is Brian, KN4R returning. All right, very good. Well, Mayor, there at the end, for the last couple of minutes of your transmission, the heterodyne went away. So, not sure if you made an adjustment or not, but it was getting better toward the end of your transmission. So, anyway, I thank you very much for the audio report. Yes, this transmitter does hum. I'm sitting here listening to it hum, and I'm not sure it's going to get much better. We changed the 676 and found one that cut the hum down by about half. I would like to try a different microphone with this, but this one's certainly picking up the hum from the transmitter itself. So we'll see. I'm just glad it's back on the air. In fact, I don't think it really had a problem. I think it was just operator error on my part. But my shack visitor, Larry, W3LW, he actually rewired the D104 slightly so that the exciter didn't run all the time, only when you push to talk. So it's much better now. And Lee, looking forward to the luncheon next Thursday, seeing everybody there. But more importantly, to see that very interesting PMR8S meter, which may be the only one in the world. So I can see you keeping it in the locked car and not bringing it in the in the restaurant. So, and Glenn, very good on the story about the DX35 versus the Globe Champion. You know, I felt the same way. My two novice buddies, one had a Ranger and a 2B, and the other one had an SX101A and a HT32 and an HT33 amplifier and a beam on 10 meters or 15 meters, you know, on and on and on. So I felt definitely outclassed when I was a novice, but I think I beat both of them in the novice roundup of 68. I'm not sure. I need to go back and check, but that was probably my last contest. So there you go. So anyway, I enjoyed it. Everybody sounds really good up here on the old HRO. I have really been enjoying just sitting here and listening to this old, this particular receiver. The contract date was October of 1941, so it could have predated Pearl Harbor, but it's just it's a great receiver, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, I'm Bill, I believe, signed, so I'm kicking it back to you, Jim. K4DEE in the group, KN4R. Over.
Yeah, well, any additional check-ins or comments? Go ahead.
Well, I think you kind of missed me.
No, well, I think we forgot about you entirely. Go ahead there, Dave, WA4LLR, take it.
Oh, Lordy, I don't know. I think Brian's changed his call. Mir faithfully turned it to me, but that didn't work. Anyway, fine business all the way around. Pretty good copy on everybody, and I agree, Mir. There at the end, the heterodyne was gone, and you sounded pretty good on the DX100. So I don't know what the situation was, but it kind of rectified itself at the end if you didn't do something. Anyway, everybody have a great rest of the afternoon. Sure has been a beautiful day up here in the mountains. And it looks like the rest of the week is going to be a bit down. we're kind of used to that by now. So 7-3, God bless, and Lord willing, we'll look for you on Tuesday morning. K4DEE and the old friends, WA4LLR.
Okay, Dave, very fine. And I hope we get a little bit of dryness that comes about. Although they say we have about 3 more days of rain, I think, this week. And I'm just, I want to see these temperatures get up above the 50 mark each day, and it's not happening. When I moved from Florida up here, I didn't bargain for this, so I'm getting more than I anticipated. So, anybody else have any comments or whatever's over?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Brian, last go around your audio sounded great. I didn't hear any echo at all.
Okay, great, John. Thanks. I did turn down the audio gain just a little bit, and I'm actually getting away from the transmitter a little bit too. So maybe I just need a longer cable. And Dave, I'm sorry. I thought you had been moved up to the top of the list. I didn't realize you were still at the bottom of the list with the rest of us. So anyway, sorry about that. Over.
Oh, I got demoted. You may have missed that one.
I apparently did. I would never demote you, Dave.
No problem. I believe there was somebody else that came in there too.
Dave, this is WF2. I passed it to you, and then you didn't pick it up, so I think Brian started to talk. Oh, Brian, I have something to say too.
Hey, you sound great, Mayor. You sound great at this time.
Yep, you sound real good, Mayor, now.
Audio gain until the plate current of the modulator stayed down.
Okay, but that time and the previous time, just you were back to your good old self. Any further comments? There might be another station out there. Go ahead.
Jim, just one comment. Your friend Fred, BKR, talking about his audio being a little distorted. I don't think the audio was distorted, but I think he was using Vox instead of push-to-talk.
Okay, he's still getting familiar with it, but I'm sure he's made at least another step forward today. So getting that audio up a little bit to match. Thank you, John.
Just wanted to say something to Brian for a sec.
Go ahead, Mayor.
Okay, Brian, thanks for the comment about on Facebook. I guess obviously you saw it about the receiver, yeah. So it's alive. Tonight I'm going to use another one that I just powered up this morning.
Oh, that's great, Mayor. Terrific. Well, I look forward to the video, and I thought the receiver sounded fine. So it's interesting when people just kind of the only comment they can think of is to say something negative. It just kind of blows my mind,
Well, the bend was very creative, and there was a lot of QSP, so I was kind of twisting the dial and adjusting and everything, and going from a weak station to another and everything. Actually, the receiver just actually takes a few minutes to warm up, but then there is also a frequency lock in it, but the lock range is only 100 kilohertz, so if you have to stay on one station very stable, you lock it on that, or else just go and do a little search window of 100 kilohertz, and after that you have to relock again. So it's a pain in the neck. Normally you don't use that lock.
Yeah, Roger. Okay, very good. Well, it was nice seeing that receiver. I don't think anybody's ever seen one of those before, so a real rare bird. So, and your audio sounds just great now. So, anyway, enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you later. KN4R.
Okay, 73 all around, and I think I might have hit the audio gain control a little bit high until the whole thing started to take off a little bit. So when I was not talking, I turned down the audio gain until the plate code showed idle again.
You did it. sounds good. Anybody else have any comments or whatever?
AE4GL checking in. It's Alpha Echo 4 Golf Lima, Abingdon, Virginia.
Okay, AE4FL, I believe. This is K4 Delta Echo. Name here is Jim. We're located in the upstairs South Carolina, and this group is on every week at this time on this frequency, and also Tuesday morning. So AE4FL, I believe. This is K4DWE.
Okay, K4 DDE. Okay, I think it said Jim. AE4GL here. Everybody sounded real good. Just kind of got in here late. I'm talking on a Johnson Viking Valiant and listening on a HQ170 Hammerland and G5 RV antenna up about 40 feet there, and kind of like over here right outside of Abingdon, Virginia. Everybody sounded real good, though. Appreciate you letting me check in there. I guess it's getting pretty close to the end of it. I got in here kind of late there, but good to hear everybody, and I've talked to a lot of them on here. I've been listening to them, but y'all go ahead and I don't know who it goes to there, but I'll let you sort it out there, Jim. K4DEE from Alpha Echo 4 Golf Lima.
AE4 Golf Lima, K4DEE. Okay, very fine. And feel free to join us at 4 o'clock when the group starts up. And propagation just about starts getting in the right position at that time, and quite a few stations normally check in anywhere between 15 and 25 from time to time. So, and the volume sounds great. I mentioned this earlier. I have two Vikings here, one that's in a standby position there, and the other one that's got some work being done on it. But I think the volumes are very ideal transmitter for a medium power rig, and it's well put together. And a few little oddities, but they can be corrected relatively easily. I've got, I think, inverse feedback on mine. I've got a bunch of other things I did to it and whatnot, just to play around with it, and the reports have always been favorable. So, and like I had mentioned earlier, this group is also on, if you're amongst the unemployed, like most of us are. Anyway, for one reason or another, the group is on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock, same frequency, and you'll find pretty much the same guys there, maybe a few different stations. So, thanks a lot. And what's the name again, please? Over.
Okay, the name here is Gil, Golf India Lima, and well, I work second shift, so I probably won't get to check into that one there. I usually probably might catch you up here on Sunday evening, though. I like to get in here where I can. Yeah, I think Cliff, WB4NTL, rebuilt this one, and it is nice, and it loads up good and everything. I really love it. It's I got about 5 or 6 of these things, and this is the best one out of the bunch. When I bought it, I had to add a case and some pointer pegs and all that stuff over it. It looks real nice and works real good too. It loads up excellent, and I really like it. I don't know how it sounds out there, but I like the way it works. But y'all try to check in when I can, and I'll say 7-3. I guess it's getting close down to the end of it there, but I appreciate the report. Got some good reports on this thing, and it's just staying right here on the shelf there till something goes wrong. But so far it's operating real good, doing everything it's supposed to. But with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Jim, and I'll say 7-3 to the group there, and I appreciate y'all letting me in, and y'all have a real good evening. K4DDE, AE4GL.
Okay then, Gil. Very fine. And you sound just as good as I think that the radio could be. So everything's, as they say, percolating good. So we'll catch you another time, and you'll have a good week. Everybody else, I don't have much more here unless there's any further comments. This is K4DWE.
Jim, this is Brian, KN4R. I just want to say, Steve, your audio sounds really good. And I do agree, though, that maybe the AF68 sounds better, but it's splitting hairs. Over.
Oh, yeah, okay. Appreciate that.
All right, Steve. All right, very good. Well, all right. Well, I'm not sure what I will do about it, but anyway, I appreciate the feedback. 73s, KN4R.
Yeah, we don't want to upset your subwoofer there, Steve. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I was kidding about it, but I guess you could put an oscillator on the input and just change the frequency response on it, just to a different frequency to see what the response is. But anyway, I don't have much more here, and I think we're ready for dinner here in another couple of minutes. So enjoyed it as always, guys, and. Those that are listening want to hear some of the same group down on 160. Join us at 1864 in the evening after 8:30, and there'll be a handful of guys there and talking about similar projects. So catch you all later. This is K4DWE, Delta Echo Echo, Easley, St. Clair.
Thank you, Jim. Hey, Steve, hang on just a second. And Gil, just wanted to let you know, your Valiant sounds super good down here. So thanks for checking in. This is KN4R. Well, I was just going to say, I can't disconnect the mic because I'm using the push to talk, but I could, or I guess I could just use the transmit switch here. Hang on a second. So the next transmission you hear from me will be with the microphone unplugged, okay? Roger, roger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you still got the hum, so it's not the mic.
All right, very good. All right. Well, I'll just ask people before I work them if they have a subwoofer. How about that? right, before you go, Steve, let me just turn the gain down here. Hang on just a second. All right, so this, I've turned the gain down. I'm on 3 basically. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1 on the audio. Here's 2 on the audio. Here's 3 on the audio. And here's 4 on the audio. Does that make any difference? Okay, very good. All right, well, at least it works, and it sounds old, so that's a good thing. So I'll use it where it makes sense to use it. So appreciate it. I'll definitely be on tonight, Steve. Sorry I missed last night. KN4R. Congratulations on resurrecting the Viking 2 there.